Good evening. Welcome to California Today. I'm Ling Zhang. Here is a preview of some of today's stories. Gas is still one of the biggest current issues in the state. A Central Valley representative is set to introduce a bill tomorrow to offer a gas rebate to the whole country, similar to Governor Newsom's proposal. At the same time, a bill to remove a gas tax was gutted yesterday and reworded to increase energy prices. Speaking of Governor Newsom, he signed an executive order on Monday pushing for more water conservation. Water districts will now limit outdoor water use for certain public and private areas. And a camera crew was robbed at gunpoint while filming a scenic spot in San Francisco. Police are investigating. A California congressman is planning to introduce a bill on Wednesday to offer gas rebates to everyone in the country, similar to pandemic stimulus checks. The plan is similar to local California proposals to offer rebates to state drivers.
California Congressional Representative Josh Harder will introduce a gas rebate bill this week, similar to locally proposed state legislation, according to Fox's Inside California Politics. The Putting Gas Money Back in Your Pocket Act proposes to help American drivers deal with high gas prices through a $500 relief check. Individuals would get $500 each, plus an additional $500 for dependents 16 and older. The plan is set to roll out on Wednesday. Fox reported that the funds will be distributed in a similar way to pandemic stimulus checks. The bill reflects Governor Gavin Newsom's rebate plan, which would give registered California drivers $400 per vehicle. Californians would receive at most 2 debit cards if they own 2 or more vehicles. Harder has previously called for lower gas prices and encouraged Governor Newsom to suspend the state's 51-cent gas tax. A California Republican-backed bill for gas tax suspension was recently gutted during a Democratic majority hearing. David Lamb, NTD News, California.
State lawmakers held a hearing for a Republican-backed bill for gas tax suspension. A heated committee hearing resulted in Democratic lawmakers gutting the gas tax bill. NTD's Cynthia Kai brings us more on what happened during the Monday afternoon meeting.
This is your government, folks, right here. Absolutely disgraceful.
That was Assemblyman Kevin Kiley's response to the attempted hijacking of his bill to suspend California's 51-cent gas tax. The Assembly Transportation Committee held a hearing for Kiley's AB 1638 on Monday, but the Assemblyman expressed surprise to the unexpected bill hearing. During the hearing, Kiley opened by noting that Maryland and Georgia had just reduced their gas taxes. He agreed that recently proposed rebates are a good idea, but he emphasized a more effective and targeted relief is returning to overtaxed taxpayers more of their own money.
I can assure you that your constituents will be grateful if you take this step today to provide so many who are struggling with a little bit of a relief. And I can equally assure you that they will be dumbfounded if this legislature again refuses to take this modest, simple, easy, and common sense step.
Opposed to the bill were building and trade labor unions, operating engineers, laborers, and Democrats. Everyone else who called in supported AB 1638. Assemblyman Alex Lee blamed corporations for high gas prices. He then proposed 8 amendments to tax corporations and establish more rebates, fundamentally gutting Kiley's bill.
And the amendments would be the following. To 1, strike out all current contents of the bill. 2, impose a new vehicle fuel
windfall. This is accepted. I'm not going to have my bill completely.
Wait. He gets to finish his. Mr. Kiley.
I'm presenting a bill. I'm not giving you guys a vessel to consider some other bill you want to do.
Please turn off his microphone.
Assemblyman Vince Fong then made a motion to move Kiley's bill in print, but the committee denied the motion in a 3-9 vote.
Let's be clear on what's happening right now. A bill to temporarily suspend the state's gas tax for 6 months to provide immediate relief to Californians is being hijacked. And is being hijacked, shockingly, to raise taxes even more in California and on energy, of all things.
There's thousands of other bills
in this building that you can hijack? Why today? And you're giving us an amendment within seconds and we have to vote for it? This is why they hate California. They hate our state government.
But Chairwoman Friedman blamed the oil industry for giant surcharges and windfall profits.
We leave it up to those big corporations to decide. But now that they know that people will pay $6 a gallon or $5.50 a gallon, there's absolutely nothing that says that they don't just pocket that extra money. Nothing.
Kiley offered Friedman the opportunity to put her name on the newly amended bill, but Friedman said she hadn't had enough time to read the amendments.
This used to be the state where anyone could get ahead. It's now the state that so many can't wait to leave behind. And that is a tragedy. And there is absolutely no denying that it is a result of government policies. And the proceedings here today are a perfect example of that.
In the end, the Assembly Transportation Committee passed the gutted amended bill in an 8-4 vote. The new changes will raise taxes on California's energy production.
As California faces ongoing drought, Governor Gavin Newsom on Monday signed an executive order pushing for more water conservation efforts from Californians. The cutbacks focus on cities and local water districts, which provide most of the water for California's 40 million people. Newsom's order directs the State Water Resources Control Board to consider requiring local water suppliers to move to Step 2 of their conservation plans. This assumes a water shortage of 20%. Level 2 typically restricts when people can use water for outdoor purposes, such as in areas like parks and cemeteries. Residents are also required to turn off decorative water features like fountains. The governor also called for the ban on watering of grass outside of industrial and commercial buildings. For Sacramento homeowners, some watering restrictions have already been in place since early this month. A map from the U.S. Drought Monitor shows that nearly all of California is under severe or extreme drought. A video circulating on social media shows a crime taking place in broad daylight at San Francisco's Twin Peaks Lookout Point. One of the suspects had a gun and can be seen in a video pointing it at the victims during the robbery. NTD's Jason Blair has the story.
Twin Peaks is one of San Francisco's highest points and is often filled with people taking advantage of its scenic view of downtown. However, at the site on Friday, a film crew was robbed at gunpoint. The San Francisco police told NTD that 4 men armed with a handgun reportedly approached the film crew, stole their property, and fled in a vehicle. Video shows one of the men get out of a car and punch one of the victims. After a scuffle takes place, a man in red can be seen pointing a gun. After taking some equipment from the back of the victim's car, the men drive off in a silver Infiniti. Social media posts are saying that the film crew is from Canada, but authorities have not confirmed this. SFPD is requesting anyone with any information to contact them. Jason Blair, NTD News, San Francisco.
Investigators seized about 35 stolen vehicles in Southern California. The vehicles were luxury cars, estimated to be worth over a combined $2 million.
The California Highway Patrol's Southern Division concluded a 2-month-long vehicle theft investigation. In an announcement on March 2022, investigators recovered approximately 35 stolen luxury vehicles. Car makes include Aston Martin, Bentley, BMW, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. The CHP stated the vehicles were fraudulently purchased from unsuspecting local dealerships. The total value of the cars are estimated at $2.3 million. The CHP's Special Services Vehicle Theft Unit used a search warrant in the San Fernando Valley area of Los Angeles. According to the Associated Press, authorities said a 39-year-old man was taken into custody, but he's been released on bond. Investigators also seized a firearm and discovered an indoor marijuana operation with over 400 plants. The CHP's Southern Division Vehicle Theft Unit says its mission is to investigate, arrest, and prosecute criminals responsible for motor vehicle theft. This investigation is ongoing. David Lamb, NTD News, California.
We're going to take a short break, but here's a look at what we've got for you when we come back. California may see more dark orange days in the late summer, similar to the last 2 years. Researchers say the intense haze from fire may become commonplace. Engineers have designed a new style of bipedal robot, this time mimicking a bird's legs. They say the structure is much more efficient compared to human-styled legs. That and much more on California Today. The Golden State may grimly be shifting its hue to the burnt orange state. That's according to a new report that says the near-red smoke clouds that blanketed parts of the state may become common dry season sights. Scientists say the eerie orange skies that marked the recent late summer periods these last few years may become commonplace, if not even more severe. Researchers from Princeton University and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration published on Monday says the smoky skies may become unbearable, according to a San Francisco Chronicle report. The report says the intense haze could become commonplace for residents along Northern California and the Pacific Northwest in the coming years. The last 2 years already saw similar dark orange skies due to large fires like the Caldor, Dixie, and August complex. Health effects of wildlife smoke are not yet fully understood, but are receiving more research attention. Additionally, state and federal environmental laws have worked to decrease pollution from both industry and vehicles, but not wildfire smoke. Tesla announced that it's planning to split their shares once again pending investor approval. NTD's Jason Blair brings us more.
Tesla Inc. said on Monday that it will seek investor approval to increase its number of shares to enable a stock split. It would be in the form of a dividend, sending its shares up about 5%. The proposal has been approved by its board, and the shareholders will vote on it at the annual meeting. The stock split, if approved, would be the latest after a 5-for-1 split in August of 2020 that made Tesla shares cheaper for its employees and investors. Tesla, which debuted at $17 per share in 2010, is currently trading over $1,000. Since the stock split in 2020, they have surged 128%, boosting the company's market capitalization above $1 trillion. Tesla is now the biggest U.S. automaker by that measure. Tesla has delivered nearly 1 million electric cars annually and has ramped up production by setting up new factories in Austin and Berlin. Meanwhile, Tesla on Monday notified its suppliers and workers that its Shanghai factory in China will be closed for 4 days. The announcement comes as the financial hub said it would lock down in 2 stages to carry out mass COVID-19 testing. Jason Blair, NTD News, California.
Something that's natural to almost every person on the planet is actually a rather challenging design problem to solve. That is walking. And just by glancing at a dog or bird, it's unique to different lives. Scientists have now effectively replicated robotic legs for one of those groups.
A team of scientists at the Max Planck Institute for Intelligent Systems and UC Irvine have constructed robot legs that mimic some feathered friends. It's based on the ultra-efficient locomotion of birds. The team published their research to Science Robotics on March 16th. The avian-inspired robot leg design, Birdbot, needs fewer motors than previous legged robots and could theoretically scale to large size. When walking, humans pull their feet up and bend their knee, but the feet and toes still point towards the front, almost unchanged. Birds, however, operate differently. They fold their feet backwards due to a mechanical coupling. Mechanical coupling allows muscles to make precise, powerful movements without expending much energy. Ostriches can run at extremely fast speeds, but they can also stand without tiring. The researchers believe the coupling of the bird's leg and foot joints could be the reason why a large animal like the ostrich can do what it does. It means that many birds even sleep while standing upright without getting tired. In terms of mechanical bird legs, This means less motors compared to human leg imitations. Research leader Alexander Baudry-Sprowitz says previously motors were switched depending on whether the leg was in the swing or stance phase. Now the foot takes over this function in the walking machine, mechanically switching between stance and swing. We only need one motor at the hip joint and one motor to bend the knee in the swing phase. The result is robot legs that can walk around with little power input and move more efficiently. The team says theoretically their research will be able to make legs that stand several feet high that can carry several tons. David Lamb, NTD News, California.
A dramatic scene unfolded on live television as the firefighters rescued 2 people and a dog from the swift-moving waters of the Los Angeles River. Their relentless dedication paid off nearly 2 hours later as everyone was hoisted to safety. Let's see how the events unfolded. We hear more from NTD's Cynthia Kai.
On Monday afternoon, the Los Angeles City Fire Department responded to reports of a woman and her dog in the LA River. Heavy downpour earlier in the day transformed the riverbed from dry concrete into a swift-moving river. After firefighters spotted the victim, they secured a rope system and went over the edge to get the stranded woman with a flotation ring. The woman, concerned about her German Shepherd mix, abandoned the ring and was swept downstream. LAFD air operations safely captured the woman, bringing her to firefighters on the ground. She was later transported to the hospital for minor injuries. Meanwhile, numerous people flocked to the fence of the river to witness the events unfold. One bystander, a 28-year-old male, entered the water to rescue the dog. Firefighters say the desire to help is understandable, but this type of action is extremely dangerous. The man was able to grab the dog, but the dog then broke away. LAFD was able to hoist the man out of the river. Further downstream, the dog, now able to walk in the shallow water, made it to where the swift water rescue team was waiting for him. The SMART team evaluated and took control of the dog for reunification with its owner. LAFD firefighters say 6 inches of fast-moving water can sweep a person off their feet, and 12 inches can move most cars off a road. Firefighters remind people that it is imperative bystanders do not intervene, putting more lives at risk.
A late-season storm brought rain and snow to parts of Southern California. The snow blanketed the mountains, including a bald eagle nest. The eagle pair and their chick spent a snowy day atop a pine tree. Despite the chilly conditions, a bald eagle chick that hatched in a nest near Big Bear Lake on March 3rd continues to thrive on a snowy morning. The chick's mother, Jackie, and father, Shadow, take turns keeping their baby warm. This year, only one of the 2 eggs hatched. Friends of Big Bear Valley, which operates a webcam on the nest, held a naming contest for the chick. The name submission deadline ended on Sunday, March 27th, but the organization said it sent name suggestions to classrooms in Big Bear Lake for students to vote on the chick's name. The name is expected to be revealed next week. Their website also has 24/7 live streams of the Eagles for those who can't get enough. Now to NTD's Thomas Christian for an update on sports.
I'm Thomas Christian, and this is the California Today Sports Roundup.
The MLB season is almost here. Here's a preview at the new faces we'll be seeing on each team. First baseman Albert Pujols won 3 Most Valuable Player awards in his 11 seasons with the St. Louis Cardinals, and after 10 seasons in Southern California, Pujols is apparently returning to St. Louis. Several media outlets reported Sunday night that Pujols and the Cardinals have settled on a 1-year contract that is worth $2.5 million. The return of the designated hitter to the National League could provide Pujols with opportunities against left-handed pitchers, as well as the pinch-hitting role he filled at times last season with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Pujols sits 5th all-time in homers with 679 and 3rd in RBIs with 2,150. over a career that included 9+ seasons with the Los Angeles Angels and most of last season with the Dodgers. He played for the Cardinals from 2001 to 2011. He is a career .297 hitter with an on-base mark of .375 and a .544 slugging percentage. After making the All-Star team in 9 of his 11 seasons with the Cardinals, he was named just once with the Angels after signing a 10-year deal worth about $250 million following the 2011 season. In 2009, his third MVP season with the Cardinals, he led the majors with 47 home runs and 124 runs scored. He also hit .327 with a National League best .443 on-base mark and led the majors in both slugging and on-base plus slugging. The Pujols-led Cardinals won the World Series in 2006 and in 2011. The Los Angeles Lakers continue to hobble toward the finish line. Nursing a horrible ankle injury, superstar LeBron James is listed as doubtful for Tuesday night's game between the Lakers and host Dallas Mavericks. James sprained his left ankle in the first half of Los Angeles' 116-108 setback at the New Orleans Pelicans on Sunday. The 4-time NBA MVP finished the game with 39 points and 9 rebounds, but the Lakers dropped their second consecutive game and are clinging to 10th place in the Western Conference with just 8 games remaining. The Lakers also saw a 23-point lead in the second quarter go by the boards and were outscored 67-39 in the second half. James, who was 37 years old this season, admitted he lost his burst after stepping on the foot of Jackson Hayes in the second quarter. That limited him to playing on the perimeter. Fellow Lakers star Anthony Davis returned to practice Monday after missing the last 16 games with a foot sprain, but he is also listed as doubtful for Tuesday. While the Lakers took a step in the wrong direction, the Mavericks recorded a 114-100 victory over Utah on Sunday to move a game ahead of the Jazz in a bid to secure the 4th seed in the Western Conference. Both teams have 7 games remaining. There is no longer any chance that the Lakers will finish with more wins than losses in the 2021-22 season. Not exactly what you would expect from a team who entered this season with title expectations.
As always, I'm Thomas Christian, and thanks for tuning in.
That's all for tonight. You can join us again on California Today every weekday at 8:30 p.m. If you have any news tips or ideas for our show, or you just want to let us know how we're doing, our email is california.today@ntd.com. I'm Liang Zhang. Have a wonderful evening.